Hello, everybody. My name is Kenny Crouch, and you all know me as the guy that I am since day one. And welcome back to another video. So remember I told you guys, and remember I talked to you guys about the whole Sega Rovio purchase thing and stuff and whatnot. I'm sure you guys remember that, as well as gameplay I showed you of Angry Birds and stuff, Angry Birds Friends and two. Well, someone in the comments down below known as and forgive me, man, if I say her name wrong because I'm not good with Russian. Po Mam X Mob helped me to sum up that basically Angry Birds is in a good possession with Sega Entertainment, but at the same time the trend will still die down because it's not popular anymore. But Angry Birds is now in more $1 million hands since they're going to be bought by Sega, and that's basically what Poham X Mob said to me in the comments below to sum this all up. And yeah, me and him thanked each other and all that stuff, and yeah, that's basically what we based on our opinions for and stuff like that. And so with that, I kind of want to make a follow up video of that last video and stuff, basically, to say that well, technically it's nice and stuff, but what if although and actually sorry guys, I'm kind of a little I actually was gonna say something. Well, I was gonna say that that's nice that Sega's buying Angry Birds and stuff, but kind of too little, too late because we're in the mid 2020s now. And second, how is Sega gonna feel since they're late to the party of Angry Birds in the next forever years? Because it's unlike Sonic has been around since the 1990s, and yeah, Sonic is not popular as he is now, but still has some decency credit to him for the 2010s and 2020s for Sonic Frontiers. What about Angry Birds though? Unfortunately, Angry Birds doesn't have that with Sonic. I mean, yeah, sure, but there's a difference with Angry Birds and Sonic. What about the movies? Because I made a criticism with the Angry Birds movies that, yeah, sure, but what if you compare that with the Sonic movies? Yeah, but with the Angry Birds movies, yeah, and it's not looking good. So how is Sega gonna feel in the next decades with Angry Birds while Sonic is driving more than Angry Birds? I mean, I did mention in the last video that well, it's pretty obvious, and Angry Birds has had a history of this, where in the past some Angry Birds games were ported over to computers and consoles, and we know that they're gonna keep that up a little more and further since Sega owns Angry Birds and stuff. But again, given Angry Birds is kind of dead nowadays, how is that gonna perform for the rest of the millennium compared to Sonic? Yeah, I can't really say for that. And I know I'm going to get dislikes for this because people are going to say, "Oh, Ken, you just don't know Angry Birds that well, or movies." Well, I do know Angry Birds. And second, I know you guys are going to also tell me, you hate the movies, and you think Sonic is better? Well, screw you then, Ken. Fuck you if you think that way." And I do understand you guys, but you gotta keep in mind this is Sonic the Hedgehog, and Angry Birds was so a popular thing in 2009 and 2010 and otherwise. I mean, I'm just saying again, it's the 2020s. How are people going to feel in the world of Angry Birds right now? That's right, sound of silence. I mean, Angry Birds is still popular in a way, but again, comparing with Sonic, yeah. And if the movies had a little more effort into them, well, it doesn't matter. Even if the movies are good or any other media is good, it doesn't matter because Angry Birds is dead. They're not. I was gonna say they're late to the party, but that'd be over an exaggeration because the whole intention of Angry Birds was for mobile. So, unless maybe if Sega can somewhat save them to reach a similar extent to Sonic, then sure, I'll believe it. But for now, Angry Birds is dead to dead to Sega unless Sega does something along with Sonic in a way, puts them in a position where they can relate with each other. So that's all I gotta say. Anyways. And yeah, like I mentioned, this wasn't the first time. This is not going to be the first time that Angry Birds will be on consoles and computers. It turns out they've actually been on computers and consoles before, ranging from the classic Angry Birds games to Angry Birds Star Wars being on PC and multiple consoles like Xbox 360, Wii U, etc. And all that stuff actually dates back, I think, 2012 or something. Yeah, 2012 actually marks the start date and the first time that Angry Birds would appear on PC and console, the very first time. So, and it seems Sega might promote that more and more, since given their history of Angry Birds on PC and consoles. And yeah, just to break it down, the kind of devices they were on: PC, Steam, PS3, Xbox 360, Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, I think PS4 and Xbox One, I'm not too sure. Something like it. And now that we have the Nintendo Switch and new devices, well, it's pretty obvious they're going to come on there. Especially that, the Sega Entertainment, the third party company that we're talking about here. So, all I gotta say. And I also mentioned crossovers between with Angry Birds and Sonic, right? Well, this wasn't the first time. This is not going to be the first time we're going to get a crossover between the two, because in Angry Birds Epic, there's an update where the birds meet Sonic the Hedgehog and the birds travel into Sonic's world and do some battles and stuff and everything. That was actually an update that exists in Angry Birds Epic. That goes for an update in Sonic Dash, where the Angry Birds visited the Sonic's world to do some challenges here and there, and you get to play as them. So yeah, Angry Birds having a crossover with Sonic wasn't the first time. And if you look up Angry Birds and Sonic crossover, it'll give you some results. Well, I'm sure results of some gameplay of Angry Birds crossover with Sonic Dash, Angry Birds Epic crossover with Sonic the Hedgehog, stuff like that. So that was actually the first prior before Sega bought them. So all I gotta say. What else? What else? I know I mentioned that in the movies it could be possible. Well, actually, now that I think about it, again, Sony owns the film rights to Angry Birds, while Paramount owns the film rights to Sonic. And as we all know, Sony and Paramount are rivals to each other. I mean, I'm I'm sure if you've seen some of Paramount's movies, I'm sure you've seen some of their movies that feature collaborations with their rivals like Warner Brothers and Universal and stuff. With Sony, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, it could be possible that, well, with video game wise, of course, we're gonna get a couple of Angry Birds crossovers with Sonic crossovers with Angry Birds, because yeah, that goes for otherwise. But I'm not sure with the movies though, because the movies are different compared to the games. But given this is Sega Rovio we're talking about here with $1 million as well as the fans, I mean, it could happen to convince Sony and Paramount to do a cinematic universe crossover with Angry Birds and Sonic. It could be possible, just as long as enough effort goes into it, mainly talking to Angry Birds, because the Angry Birds movies were not that good, then we'll be set. I mean, if it's Sonic, hell yeah, hell yeah. Oh, what about Sonic Frontiers? Don't forget, Sonic Frontiers was recently released in November 2022. If it's possible, whenever the DLC update of Sonic Frontiers will release, it could possibly feature some implications of Angry Birds in the game, either related to a crossover or a mini game. Now that would be pretty cool, or something. But that depends when the DLC will come out either this summer or further down the line or something. But either way, we could possibly get an update of Sonic Frontiers featuring Angry Birds in the world of Sonic Frontiers, playable as Angry Birds characters in a way or something. I don't know. It could be possible. That's at least what I think. Just hopefully, like with that one pinball Sonic Frontiers minigame, it doesn't suck, because yeah, Sonic Frontiers is a good masterpiece except for that pinball minigame, so that's kind of what I worry for. So all I gotta say. Also, Sonic is back in his prime time, so Sega, hopefully the Angry Birds acquisition didn't affect Sonic to put him back in the position where Sonic Forces sucked, Sonic Lost World sucked, and previous Sonic games from the 2000s sucked, like Sonic 06 and all that stuff. That's kind of what I fear, because given Sega has some good and bad days in the 2020s as well as other stuff, I don't know, it just makes me worry. But given we have Sonic Frontiers now, I don't think we need to worry. But at least that's what I think, at least. So, yeah. What else? Oh, yeah. Is that annoying? I think so. Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember Toon.TV? I know, rest in peace. But I will say that I'm sure if you guys know Angry Birds Toons, I mean, well, of course we're not going to get it back, but if it's possible, if we get another Angry Birds animated spin-off, it could feature the likes of Sonic with it. I mean, Sonic has had some television series since the 90s, both good and bad, so I see where this is going. So, yeah. What if not only homages of Angry Birds and Sonic like this, but what if homages to bring Angry Birds to classic Sonic Retro and stuff for the upcoming Sonic, what's that called? Sonic the Hedgehog Plus. I'm sure you guys know about that. Well, again, I can't say for sure what effect this will bring, as well as DLCs to some Sonic games will bring with Angry Birds, but I would like to see what would happen in the future for these ideas to come to fruition. And basically, that's all I'm trying to say and stuff. Oh yeah, Also, Rovio Entertainment not only owns Angry Birds, but they also own another company who is a subsidiary to Rovio Entertainment, Ruby Games, which I didn't know about. But yeah, Rovio Entertainment owns Ruby Games, who is a subsidiary to Rovio Entertainment, and I'm sure it develops some Angry Birds games. I'm sure also develops games that are not Angry Birds related. So since Ruby Entertainment, well, you guys can figure this out. You guys know better. But I'm basically trying to say that since Rovio is a subsidiary of Ruby Entertainment is a Ruby Games whatever is a subsidiary of Rovio Entertainment, which Rovio is being bought by Sega, making Ruby Games a subsidiary of Rovio Entertainment and Sega, since Ruby Games is owned by Rovio, which Rovio is in the process of being owned by Sega and Sega Sammy Holdings Company. So yeah. Oh yeah, don't forget, the Angry Birds and Sonic have some arcade games. Kinda. Yeah, they do. So I can't wait to see where this is going and stuff. And like I kind of joked in the last like I kind of joked in the last video about Finland and Japan. I mean, I see where this is going with Japan and Finland in the mix, because I'm sure this is giving Finland and Japan a reaction as we speak, because I mean, this is the first time that a company like from Finland, a video game company from Finland, and a video game company from Japan are coming together to buy out each other. Well, Sega to buy Rovio. Just crazy to me. Now, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. It's just, this shocks me when I first heard the news, because Rovio is based in Finland and Sega is based in Japan. But at least that's what I kind of think about it and stuff and everything. But again, hopefully we'll bring peace to Finland and Japan, given Rovio and Sega know what they're doing for the future of the video game industry as a whole. So, all I gotta say about that. Well, anyways, that'll do it from this video. I'm glad you guys were able to listen in on what I had to say, more of this insight of this, and I might make another video related to it and stuff. So, yeah, credits to one of my commentators, Poham X Hub. I want you guys to give him credit and support and thank him for me suggesting this, for me to make this video. Yeah, he was the one that kind of suggested. Well, he didn't say, but I kind of grabbed a little inspiration from that from his comments to make into this video along with my ideas and stuff. And if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't make a video like this and stuff, as well as other stuff I needed to say. So yeah, you guys put down in the comments below some things necessary that you guys need to point out about the Sega and Rovio acquisition, as well as more information I said related to it, with your thoughts and comments down in the comments below and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, and also, and I know I talk shit about oh damn, I'm only at 13. This video is getting too long. Sorry guys. I did make a video a few minutes ago, but it was too long, so I kind of need to wrap this up. I know I said some negatives here and there, but again, opinion-wise, that goes for opinions on some of the good stuff, which you guys can put in the comments below. So yeah, thanks everybody so much for watching. You know the drill. I don't need to say the rest, so subscribe. You know the rest and everything, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye. I salute to the American flag. Adios. Yeah, just like that, baby. Yeah.